The reunion on X. Another powerful player from Activision Blizzard appears in the Epstein files. Former Activision Blizzard board of director member Casey Wasserman shared a spicy relationship with Jeffrey Epstein's accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell. This thread explains it all. And before I even get into this thread, isn't it interesting that all roads in Epstein with gaming lead back to Bobby Kotick and Activision Blizzard that was eventually purchased by Microsoft and Bill Gates? It's a small world after all, isn't it? The reunion. Casey Wasserman, who is the former Activision Blizzard board member from 2015 to 2022, the LA Olympics chief, and the CEO of Wasserman Media Group, is in the Epstein files. Wasserman emailed Ghislaine Maxwell several times in 2003, portraying a physical relationship with her. He recently admitted sending emails after the Epstein files were released publicly, saying he, quote, deeply regretted the emails. Look at this guy, LA 2028 Olympics chief, deeply regrets flirty emails with Ghislaine Maxwell, the jailed associate of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Casey Wasserman's messages to Maxwell sent in 2003 were among millions of files published by the U.S. Department of Justice. In one exchange, Wasserman wrote to Maxwell, "I think of you all the time. So what do I have to do to see you in a tight leather outfit?" Maxwell is currently serving a 20-year prison sentence for recruiting and trafficking teenage girls to be essayed by the disgraced financier, Epstein, prior to his quote-unquote death in custody in 2019. Where are you? I miss you. I will be in NYC for 4 days, starting April 22nd. Can we book that massage now? When the sexual harassment lawsuit was brought against Blizzard by the state of California, Wasserman donated $100,000 to Governor Newsom's campaign. Wow. It is alleged that the governor was meddling in the lawsuit, which possibly prompted Wasserman's donation. Holy shit. This is back in 2021. Activision Blizzard sued by California over widespread sexism, sexual harassment. Women at the company described a pervasive frat boy culture. Activision board member donates $100,000 to Newsom's anti-recall campaign. You know, the whole recall campaign when I was in California when this was happening, I was so excited for it. I was like, oh my God, there's so many people that want this guy recalled. And then it just came and went. I didn't even know where the vote was. And people said it just didn't get enough votes to happen. I'm like, what do you mean it didn't get enough? Where were the votes? Anti-recall campaign? What the hell is an anti-recall campaign? Newsom's office has been accused of meddling in a discrimination suit the state brought against it. Oh my God. Politics. Not even once, guys. Casey Wasserman, the CEO of Wasserman Media Group, is a director at Activision Blizzard, according to the company's website, and sits on the board of directors and the board's nominating and corporate governance committee. Just weeks after the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing filed the July suit against the company, alleging frat boy culture, rampant sexual harassment, and discrimination against women, Wasserman donated $100,000 to stop the Republican recall of Governor Newsom's campaign. Here's the craziest part. The lefty lunatics have got to be so confused right now because they're like trying to support Newsom, and then they see this kind of stuff happening. Yes, the people you guys are supporting, this is who you are backing. These are the people. This is who you're voting into offices and standing behind. Just make a note of that, by the way. In addition to his position at Activision, Wasserman is a prominent LA executive. He sits on organizing committee for the 2028 Olympics and was a chair of the LA Super Bowl host committee for 2022. California lawyer quits over allegation Newsom meddled in Activision case. Wow. It's all coming to head here. In response to the hostile workplace listed in the sexual harassment lawsuit concerning Kotick, the board of directors, including Wasserman, released the following statement in 2021 supporting Bobby Kotick and how he was handling the situation. Activision Blizzard board backs CEO Kotick after damning report. Board members say they are confident Bobby Kotick appropriately addressed the workplace issues brought to his attention, despite an extensive report claiming otherwise. Curious. Activision Blizzard Board of Directors issued statement regarding recent article. Activision Blizzard Board of Directors released following statement. The Activision Blizzard Board remains committed to the goal of making Activision Blizzard the most welcoming and inclusive company in the industry. God, this is welcome to the pendulum swing. Under Bobby Kotick's leadership, the company is already implementing industry-leading changes, including a zero-tolerance harassment policy. That's not industry-leading. Many companies have that. A dedication to achieving significant increases to the percentages of women and non-binary people in our workforce. You wonder where this all came from, guys. Just remember this. And significant internal and external investment. This is literally DEI, our commitment to bring in women and non-binary people to our company, to accelerate opportunities for diverse talent. The board remains confident that Bobby Kotick appropriately addressed workplace issues brought to his attention. The goals we have set for ourselves are both critical and ambitious. The board remains confident in Bobby Kotick's leadership, commitment, and ability to achieve these goals. Bobby Kotick and Casey Wasserman both stepped down from their positions at Activision Blizzard. Wasserman in 2022 and Kotick at the end of 2023. Bill Gates' company, Microsoft, proceeds to buy Activision Blizzard shortly after. Bill Gates is also in the Epstein files 2,500 times. So I'm not going to read through all this, but you get the gist of what's happening here. Now that we have the power of hindsight, it all starts to make sense. You can start putting all the pieces together. It is unknown at the time if Wasserman had a hand in the environment at Activision Blizzard. As a board of director, he would have influence over the CEO and was elected by a shareholder. What is going on with Activision Blizzard? It's like Epstein owns it or something. Very, very curious. And a banger thread by The Reunion exposing what actually was going on behind the scenes at Activision Blizzard. And on top of that, we have Pirate Nation. Leaked 2013 emails from Jeffrey Epstein's files show discussions with former Activision CEO Bobby Kotick and inventor Pablos Holman on using Call of Duty microtransactions. One response described it as indoctrinating kids into an economy rather than traditional education. Kotick's name appears hundreds of times across the documents, though no criminal involvement is alleged. Yes, of course, because nothing ever happens. The timing aligns with Black Ops 2 introducing microtransactions that year. This is the email from Jeffrey Epstein to Bobby Kotick. The best scheme I've come up with so far is to use X Prize or something like it to co-opt the existing video game industry. Holy shit. They literally just say it. Like, you think when I say these words, you think I'm some sort of right-wing extremist grifter that's just like, he's just one of the chuds trying to get attention on his YouTube channel. This is them fucking saying it. This is not like a YouTuber being an extreme, like, oh my God, guys, crazy. This is them fucking saying it. Straight up. No tinfoil hats. They were doing it. It got exposed. Where are all the people that were calling people grifters and shit over the years calling this shit out? Mighty quiet now, aren't you? Strange. Almost like we were passionate about it because we knew that's what was happening. Weird. Imagine you are looking at the door in a video game. It has some squiggly symbols printed on it. Little munchkins, oh God, coming from Epstein, walk up to that door and say, Konnichiwa. The door opens and they are greeted by a hot princess with big tits and a thong. The door closes in your face. You're going to fucking learn to read and pronounce kanji. Unleash that on a 5th grade boy, and then the next thing you know, you'll have an entire generation of bilingual kids speaking Japanese to each other behind the backs of their parents and teachers. Holy shit. We have to keep the boobs and guns and profit. You see how much money video games are making these days? Fuck educational reform. We need educational subversion. Holy shit. Like they straight out just say it. And you already know, by the way, the detractors, the people that just can't stand how we're always fucking right. Like, I'm not even trying to take personal credit because it's not just me. There are so many people reporting on this shit and have been for years that have been dealing with these left-wing lunatics shouting us down saying that you're insane. You just do this for money. You don't actually care about gaming. You don't care about it. You're just saying these wild words that mean nothing. That's saying the same fucking words in the Epstein email to Bobby Kotick. Pablo Solman, I'm all for indoctrinating kids into an economy. You gotta love how this example for real world rewards is virtual items in games. Bobby Kotick, X Prize is a good idea, but key is real world rewards. Wow. I'm like beside myself with this. Savvy, why do you think there's so much pushback on changing every game with microtransactions to being adult only? Why do you think common sense regulation is being ignored? It was all a plan. All of it. Roblox, Discord, microtransactions, Twitch. It is all to groom the next generation of consumers. It wasn't just Epstein pushing this angle, but he certainly helped fan the flames. All the CEOs want this because up only is the only way for them. Not satisfying niche markets and slowly building wealth. Nope. They got to groom them kids fast. The fastest way we get real good change is getting rid of the ESRB. The ESRB, by the way, played a massive role in allowing this to happen. One of the big angles of starting my YouTube channel and frustrations that I had with gaming was microtransactions and the directions it was going. Go back and check videos from Smash JT from 5, 6, 7 years ago where I'm bitching about microtransactions in games and how it's going to end up in a very bad place. And it was all enabled by the ESRB, the very people that was supposed to be protecting the kids. You know, it's actually, the people that say it's for your safety, but then do this kind of stuff. No. Changing to a robust tagging system similar to Steam. Every single app, game, whatever, that has microtransactions and or peer-to-peer comms to adult only. Change the culture. Win at life. I will tell you, as a parent of 2 kids that love playing Roblox, I would love to see a law come down saying that under a certain age, you are not allowed to be purchasing microtransactions on a game. You have to completely overhaul the entire economy of the game. None of it would work the way it does. And the first thing that would happen if that law got passed and they were forced to do it, Nancy Pelosi's Roblox stock would go from the hundreds down to a penny stock overnight. It's all about the money. Follow the dollar every single time. The whole situation with, I'm not going to go through all this, but the whole situation with Activision Blizzard is a shit show. And that's actually putting it nicely. This is from, I know, The Guardian, but hear me out. Sheryl Sandberg allegedly leaned on Daily Mail news site to drop stories about ex-boyfriend. The Daily Mail dropped 2 stories detailing Activision's Bobby Kotick's abuse of an ex after threats by Meta executive. Sheryl Sandberg allegedly pressured the Daily Mail to drop unflattering stories about her then boyfriend, Bobby Kotick, the Activision Blizzard CEO. Again, I'm just giving you guys the information. Do with this what you will. And Grums. Blizzard, by the way, Grums, former Activision Blizzard employee. Blizzard is so fucked now that it has to beg Asian companies to make their games good. I'm mad as hell. This is a total destruction of everything we work so hard to build. Pirate Nation. Blizzard reportedly partnering with Arc Raiders owner Nexon to revive StarCraft as a shooter. That is the current shitification of Activision Blizzard after being bought out by Microsoft. I know you're all surprised, and it is. At the end of the day, nothing ever happens. These massive money moguls do insane shit behind the scenes, and no penalties, nothing. They destroy society They destroy generations of kids playing games, all for the fight for the almighty dollar. And the organizations that are supposed to be in place to protect the kids, the ones that actually are supposed to protect the kids, are all bought and sold by these people that run these companies. Ban the ESRB. They have proven themselves incompetent and incapable of doing what they're in place to do. But I'll leave that there.